Yasharala. This your brother Dawada from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, that's pushing this truth and sincerity and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. All right, so I want to jump to this quick little article I came across, which is quite funny that they would even go after some shit like this after all the things that they've done on the planet Earth. Speaking on Amalek, which Amalek is a tribe of Esau, Edom. All right, they're just a branch of Esau, Edom. They one and the same. Just like when you say let's say Issachar, Ephraim, Judah, any of these tribes, they're all a part of the house of Israel. So nevertheless, speaking on these Amalekites over here, they also take part in the things that Esau Edom does, So I want to jump into this here article that says Israel to seek 25 billion from Arab countries that expelled Jews to restore their rightful property. All right. It says Israel to demand 250 billion in compensation from 7 Arab countries and Iran for assets left by Jews forced to flee after the creation of the state of Israel. All right. An effort to correct the historic injustice of the programs. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be, but nevertheless, it's quite funny that, they're saying like, after these atrocities, which wasn't even an atrocity, they stole some land for one. All right. After they got the creation of the state of Israel. All right. You had, these, Arab nations that went to war with them, but nevertheless, they also had a lot of these so-called Jews leave these other lands to come back or go to the land of Israel. All right. And so they're saying basically, they want to get things, let me see, I think it'll go into it. It says the specific demands are being finalized for the first 2 of the 8 countries, according to Halashot TV News, which reported that Israel would seek 35 billion from Tunisia, 15 billion from Libya. Compensation will also be sought from Morocco, Iraq, Syria, Egypt, Yemen, and Iran. Gamaliel, Israel's Minister for Social Equality, who is coordinating the effort, said that the time had come to correct the historic injustice of the pogroms against Jews in 7 Arab countries and Iran to restore to hundreds of thousands of Jews who lost their property that was rightfully theirs. All right. It says, with the help of the international accountancy firm, the Israeli government has been quietly researching the value of property and assets that Jews was forced to leave behind when they left the countries in question. All right. Now, were they forced to leave those countries? They decided, first, like I said, these, the Rothschilds, all right, basically swindled themselves a deal, all right, in the Balfour Declaration to get that landmass, all right. And also it's to fulfill prophecies, that the heathens would come and basically dwell in our high places and in our land, But nevertheless, once they got that, according to their so-called world domination plan, part of that was, in their mind, they needed the state of Israel, all right, to play out the story that they got going on today, to basically control the whole damn world, and control certain parts and pieces of the world, They basically using the United States, Israel, and basically the beast, EU, the military, all right? But they use a lot of these sad sob stories to get into certain places and whatnot to be able to, like the Iran deal, the whole preference for America even looking towards Iran to go to wars because of what? Israel. All right. The whole nuclear program and all this goes back to Israel. All right. If Iran get a nuclear bomb, they're going to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. So therefore, America has to stop Iran from getting a nuclear bomb, and as you see, we going down the line, according to prophecy, what will happen. But, in a carnal sense, America's being brought to war basically for Israel. So Israel, in their words, they're saying Iran wants to blow them off the face of the earth, and when you look at history, man, like, Iran ain't invaded no countries, but we know because of what they doing, they pushing and prodding against them. They raising them up to basically strike at their ass. But all that's according to prophecy. But let's say that, let's say this was just a carnal world, the Most High didn't exist, and prophecies didn't exist, but the way of the world was still going the same way it was, Iran is not provoking anybody over there. Again, this whole thing going in Iran is all predicated off of what? Israel coming up with a lie. Okay, look, check it out. these Iranian motherfuckers about to build a bomb and blow us off the face of the earth, when the Iranians is like, nah, we want nuclear power so we can basically come into the damn, modern day times. We can have, efficient energy and things like that. We want this shit for energy, not no military type of things. And when you really look at it, like, Iran has a huge fucking country, all right, and they have a pretty damn decent military. And if it wasn't really for America with a lot of the weaponry over there, ooh, shit, really, if America wouldn't step in, Iran would just walk right over Israel. But nevertheless, you see what I'm saying? These things are being predicated off of Israel. It's all off of Allah. So they saying, look, we left some property and money behind in these countries, all right, because we was forced to leave. You wasn't forced to leave. The whole goddamn world is in turmoil right now, at the principle of it, because you stole our identity and you sitting in our place and you wicked as fuck. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. But nevertheless, like I'm saying, man, here you go with these damn Israelis caught in a lie. Oh, we crying, we sad, we sorry, we need our shit back, and because we was forced to leave. Look at all the bullshit that didn't happen to us. Like, nah, ain't no bullshit happening to y'all. Y'all went over there, stole some damn land. You moved your people from wherever you was already living at, and you basically got more hired actors, because none of y'all are Jews. You're all converts, all right? All of you are different peoples. Well, not to say different peoples, but you're a different group of people than who you think that, or who you claim to be, all right? And a lot of these people that are over there were actually dwelling in those, like what they saying now. They was actually dwelling in these other lands beforehand, all right? When you go back to prior to 1942, there was like a population of 500,000 people living in what they call the land of Palestine. All right, it was like 500,000 people, and that population had been like that for like hundreds of years. It was like a couple so-called Palestinian people, and Palestinian people aren't even real people. All right, the Palestinians are the Syrian people. All right, they were just Syrians that was living there. All right, the Philistines, according to the scriptures, those are Africans. All right, but the Palestinian people that you see today, these are just Syrian people that was dwelling in that land. When you go back in history and you look at that area, I think they called it like Syria Palestina or something like that. It was just a portion of Syria. All right, and for the longest time, there was like a population of around 500,000 people living there. It was a very small population of people. All right. And there was never none of these so-called Jews living in that little area. All right. But then all of a sudden they came over there and just invaded the area, and you see it still going on into this day. And that's what they still in the process of doing. All right. But now they want to go over, and now with all of this and taking all the Palestinians' land. All right. Well, all those people that was living over there at the prior time, all their property and all their stuff, you see what I'm saying? They like, oh no, we need to get our property back and money back from these countries because our people chose to live in those countries beforehand. That's where they was born at and they came up at. Now all of a sudden they want to go to a whole nother land and steal somebody else's land and kill them. And instead of you paying the Palestinians back or even try to give them a two-state scenario, you begging for these other countries to pay for that. All right. It's all hypocrisy, man. It's just wickedness. All right. Let me continue on in this. It says, compensation, if were received, would not be allocated to individual Jewish families, but would be distributed through the special Israeli state fund, according to the reports, straight stealing the money. So you're going to use the people as the, how do I say? You're going to use the people as the deployer or whatever. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you're going to use the people as the sob story. Look, our people is struggling. Our people need their shit back, blah, 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 blah. Once you get all the funds, the people ain't getting the funds. All right. You're going to take the damn money. You're going to do what you want to do with the money because y'all straight wicked. All right. And with the majority of those Jewish people living over there. All right. These people don't know that they damn converts. They just like us, the so-called, well, not the so-called, the Israelites that grew up here in America thinking they was Americans. All right. They ain't know no goddamn better. They over here saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm proud to be an American, this and that. You try to tell them you ain't no American. It's a lot of our people, you try to tell them they ain't no American. They be like, nah, we American. What you talking about? We was born here. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no real understanding of the context of their history. They don't really know. You see what I'm saying? So you can't quite blame them off rip. You know what I'm saying? But you tell them and you let them know, like, yo, here go the facts. This is what it is. But nevertheless, the majority of those Jewish people that dwell over the civilians, they don't know no better. All right. They just as lost as our people over here don't know no damn better. It's the higher ups that know. But as you see these damn devils is continuing on what the hell are they doing. It says there were an estimated 856 Jews fled 10 Arab countries after Israel was established in 1948, according to the Justice for Jews from Arab countries. Until now, however, Israel has never formally requested compensation for the Jews forced to leave the Arab countries. Now look at that number, 856,000. All right. How the fuck you go from 856,000 to 6 million? Well, to a number higher than 6 million, for 6 million Jews to fucking be exterminated in the Holocaust, all right, within the same decade, and you still have 6 million Jews left over. You see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is retarded. You see what I'm saying? But hey, man, this the damn devil. It says Mir Kolan, chairman of the Central Organization for Jews in Arab Countries and Iran, told the Times of Israel that at the time, Jews did not seek refuge status in the newly created Israel, as it was seen as a return to their historic homeland. All right, an historic homeland. Like I said, these people never lived over there. All right, when they went over there in 1948. This was the first time that those people or anybody in their whole lineage going all the way back had ever even stepped foot on that ground. They'd never lived over there, right? The majority of these damn people, when you trace them back, they was like over in Germany and shit, Poland. They was over in, where else was they like these people, these are the Khazars from like Georgia, Russia. This is where these people come from. All right. Well, in one of the latest times periods from like what, 740 AD. That's where they was at all the way up until, you know, more modern times, so they started coming up out of their damn holes and taking over every damn thing. And then you look at all the countries that the Jews was expelled from. All right, and when you go back from that history from 748 AD all the way up until 1948, these people had never lived in the land of Israel, what we call the land of Israel today. All right, but it says Jews did not seek refuge status in the newly created Israel, as it was seen as a return to their historic homeland. And the country's first prime minister, David Ben-Gurion, wanted to project an image of the state that was legitimate and could care for its people. All right. They wanted to project this image, or they wanted to project a lie. It's all a lie. They stole some damn land. You see what I'm saying? Just like, I'm not going to get into it, but these damn Edomites, the move come as the Trump administration and the United States prepare its long awaited Israel-Palestinian peace proposal, an effort for which some analysts have already declared dead in the water after the U.S. in a hugely controversial move last year recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. So how the hell are you going to be at least having a conversation about Israel and Palestine with peace talks and, you know what I'm saying, a possible two-state agreement or any kind of peace talks with the Palestinians? How could you even look in that direction truthfully and say that you kind of open to that idea when you over here trying to give Jews some money, these so-called Jewish people some money from other countries where they was over there, not occupying, but they was basically living over there. It wasn't they shit to begin with. You see what I'm saying? You trying to give them some of their money, but wait, what about the Palestinians whose land it actually was? You was just a roommate in somebody else's house. You know, it's like you staying with, somebody else, you staying with a friend or some shit. That's your, they let you stay at their house for a couple of weeks or whatever, whatnot. But this motherfucker's getting evicted or nah. This guy's house burned down because it just burned down. He lived in an apartment. The next guy's over, his house burned down. You ain't have shit to do with it. You was just staying there a couple nights. Now he about to get his insurance check. You ain't really got shit or nothing invested. How the hell you getting something back? It wasn't your house. You was just there for a couple nights. You see what I'm saying? It says in 2010, Israel passed a law which states that any peace deal must provide for compensation for Jews forced to flee Arab countries and Iran. All right. Meanwhile, the Palestinian authorities have also sought $100 billion in compensation from Israel for assets left by Arabs forced to leave the lands controlled by Israel today. Palestinians have also sought a right of return for the surviving refugees and their descendants, a demand that has repeatedly been dismissed by Israel. All right. So these goddamn hypocrites, the people like this ain't even like far removed. You see what I'm saying? Y'all like got this is why they got all these borders up and all the securities up in Israel right now, because the people that they stealing the land from is still on the damn land. This is why you have basically, I don't even want to, officially say two countries in one country. You have, the territories of Palestine, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip inside of another country or inside of another state, Israel. You see what I'm saying? That shit's not even official. Like that shit's all bullshit. I believe recently they just so-called made it an actual, an actual nationalized state. They officialized it, giving it to the Israel side, But nevertheless, it says, let me go back. It says the Trump administration has also seemed to have taken Israel's side on that issue, halting funding for the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency. You see what I'm saying? So how the hell can y'all even talk about some stuff like this? All right. About giving some stuff back when you don't want to give shit back to the Palestinians whose land, not to say whose land you dwelling in, but nevertheless, that's our land first and foremost. But we understand that we was sold into captivity, scattered into the four corners of the earth. All right, until the times of the Gentiles come to an end. All right, and we know that our land would be trodden down, basically by the Gentiles for a while. You know what I'm saying? The heathens was gonna be dwelling up in there. You know what I'm saying? But just damn, these motherfuckers is wicked. First and foremost, I'm not taking it for the Palestinians because neither one of them is supposed to be over there in that land. Well, according to the scriptures, the heathens would be dwelling there, but it ain't neither one of they lands, and they both about to get, evicted very soon. But nevertheless, wickedness is just wickedness. The scriptures say love the good and hate the evil. All right. These goddamn hypocrites saying one thing out of their one mouth. Oh, we need our reparations. We need our this and we need our that. Blah, 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 blah. But, when the Palestinians is asking for it right here and right now, because of the shit y'all doing today, the shit you're going to be doing tomorrow, and the shit you're going to be doing next week, they can't ask for no shit like that. No reparations or recompense for that. Nah. They not even official. Like, wait a minute. But y'all just came over there and gang raped their whole land. How they not official? They was there before you got there. All right. It's like somebody hijacked your car at the light and you done got back in the car. The police pulling you over. Boop, boop. Oh, get out of the car. You stole this car from him. Like, nah, it's my car. Look, here's my license, my registration. The car registered to this name and this address. It's all, this motherfucker stole my car. Police arrest you and send him along in your car, even though you got the ID, everything, the paperwork to show it's yours. You see what I'm saying? That's the shit that's going on now. All right. This is why these people need to be destroyed. This is why they the damn devil, man. All right. It says, in 2014, Israel officially made November 30 a national day to commemorate the exiting of Jews from Arab and Iranian lands. Each year, the day is used to raise awareness for the subject, to promote the issue of compensation to Jews. That year, Canada also formally recognized the refugee status of its Jewish immigrants who fled there in 1948. I mean, in actuality, you think about it, they start paying these people up. Basically, every so-called white person on the planet Earth, no matter where they at, could basically claim this shit. Because that's all they doing. They all just claiming this identity. None of them are actual, what you would call a Jew. First of all, that's one tribe. And that's nevertheless. But you know what I'm saying? This is what these so-called white people are doing. They just, how do I say, how the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Yeah, he covered, he painted all the saints, Yahweh's picture, but also he taking, our own heritage. He's taking our identity. All right. It says, let me go back up to this. It says, it was funny how they keep saying Jews. No. It says from Arabs and Iranians, they keep making a distinction, but when you look at it, for the most part, they all so-called Muslims, right? For these so-called unlearned people who always say Arabs and Muslims and stuff like that, there's a difference. Muslim is a religion. White people could be Muslims. Chinese people could be Muslims. Arabs is like a group of people, like how we would think of it as a race of people. Iranians is a different group of people. Although most of the time they both Muslims, Iranians are actually the Persians. All right. It says, which the Persians, those are completely different people from, who Ishmael would be. All right. It says, at a 2014 event marking the displacement of Jews, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Arab countries had compelled Jews living in their territories to leave their homes and assets behind, that the state will continue to act so that claims of those Jews are not forgotten. Yeah, they was not forced to leave their damn homes and assets behind. Nobody told them that. If anybody forced them, it would have been the damn Israelis at that point in time. Like, yo, we're going to come back over here because we got a plan. All right. These so-called elites lied and used you lower end people to leave all your shit behind. And then, hey, at the end of the day, they coming back to try to lay claim to it all. But what? You're not going to get it back. All right. Let me jump into some scriptures here. And I don't even want to touch on talking about reparations. Well, what about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans reparations? What about our 40 acres and a mule, man? Our people are so low-minded with that type of stuff. But nevertheless, the scriptures cover that, all right? I didn't want to get too much into that, while reading that article, because a lot of people like, oh, why you keep holding on to the past? Forget the past. Don't worry about the past. They only say that when it comes to us. But, this happened here over in, 1948. All right? That's in the past. September 11th happened in the past. Remember 9/11. All right? Then he also says 4th of July. You celebrate 4th of July, 1776. All right. That was when America got its independence and basically formed itself. Right. And July 4th of 1776, the so-called Emancipation Proclamation didn't happen until around 1855. So how can we have to forget about slavery. All right. But we can remember the 4th of July, the very 4th of July. We celebrate that every year. Right. But wait a minute. We were still slaves after the fact that the 4th of July was first established. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's just retarded, man. Job 20. This is the book of Job 20. I'm gonna start at 4. I'm gonna jump around. Job 20 and 4. Now, this is talking about Job 20 and 29. This is the portion of the wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. All right. And, we mostly bring this out basically talking about Esau, Edom. All right. But, you got some people out there who be straining at gnats and stuff like that. Amalek is a part in the tribe of Esau, Edom. All right. Now, when the scriptures say, let me get to one. What am I looking for? Let me see. Looking for a specific, actually, I can grab another precept while I'm right there. This is Ezekiel 35 and 15. As thou did rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea. Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom, which is weird because they were speaking Hebrew at this point in time. I don't know why they would put Idumea in there. Even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. All right. So if all of Edom is going to be taken out of place, what is this? Genesis 36. Okay. Now, Genesis 36 and 1. Now, these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. All right. Now, let me go down to verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So Mount Seir and Edom is the same thing. Now, these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Seir. All right. Now, let me jump down to verse 12. And Timnah was a concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare Eliphaz Amalek. All right. So Amalek will be Esau's grandson, still part of the Edomites. They're still Edomites. All right. So some people, who want to strain at gnats and things like that, want to seem to forget about all these Edomites that's going to be destroyed. All right. Now, let me actually jump to Ezekiel 36 and 2. Thus saith Yahweh power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are in our possession. All right. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 5. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which is Esau, Edom, every last tribe and every single soul of the Edomites, all of them, no matter which tribe they from, all right, which have appointed my land, which is the land of Israel, into their possessions with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So the Most High is mad about those Israelis that's living over there in the land of Israel, the Amalekites, which are sons of Esau, Edom. They still Edomites, all right? Now, let me see. From there, I want to get back to where I wanted to go in the lesson. I want to clear that up because, you got some people who, again, strain at gnats and stuff like that. Like, oh, this is, so on and so forth. But back into the lesson, this is Job 20 and 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite before a moment. All right. So though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? All right. He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision in the night. The eye which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place beholding him. All right. And so, this again, talking about all the Edomites, but for this here lesson, we talking about these Amalekites. All right. The same shit's going to happen to them as with all the other tribes of Esau, Edom as a whole. All right. But what, since the birth of these damn Amalekites on the scene as the so-called Jewish people in 1948, all right, because they've always been around, but under this new identity. All right. It says, let me jump down to verse 11. His bones are full of the sin. His bones are full of the sin of his youth. which shall lie down with them in the dust. And so, like I said, since the creation of the birth of that state over there in 1948, all right, like I said, these people have been around forever. All right, the so-called Jewish people, they've been around forever. These are Amalek, all right, but they also change identities and names and things like that according to what Psalms 83. Come, let us cut off Israel from being let me get it, because this is all a part of that. All right, Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. So, and verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom. All right. So, nevertheless, part of cutting us off from being a nation, they would also, like we read in Ezekiel 36, they came into our identity, more or less to say. There's still a place called Israel on the map. There's still people, you know, with that name is still in existence, but we don't think that we're the Israelites. All right. They call themselves Israelis and say that they're the ones that was returning to their promised land. All right. But that's not them. All right. So going back down to Job 20 and 11, his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him. All right. Since they came over there as a so-called state and a nation, since they was born, all right, in 1948, they ain't been doing nothing but wickedness since the day they was born with the 6-day war. All right. Even up into this day. Thus wickedness shall be sweet in his mouth, though we hide it under his tongue. We just want a place for our people after the persecution and the Holocaust. We just want to live here in safety, you know, though he spared and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yet his meat and his bowels is turned, and his galls of asper within him. He has swallowed down riches and shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. Now, overall, Esau Edom has taken the whole damn planet Earth. All right. But what? And like what we read in this here article. All right. And not just, you know, you don't have one Edomite, you know what I'm saying, that's taking over the whole goddamn earth like that. You have different princes and places and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Esau is ruling with multiple different heads. Like when you go back to the Rothschilds, right? I believe it was, I can't think what the father's name was when they changed their name to Rothschilds, but he had 5 sons. He sent his sons into different areas. All right. And they controlled in those different areas. You know, there was one in London and one in another place and one in another place. All right. So the same thing. They was all basically Rothschilds, but they was in different locations. All right. It says, he has swallowed down riches and shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. Yeah, that land over there, they went over there and plundered that land. All right. Like I said, they took somebody else's place where they were staying at the time. All right. And now they still doing the same thing now. Now they trying to take more of what they trying to get is what they call the Levant. All right. That was one of the how do I say the purposes and the uses of ISIS, the terrorist group. Because when you look at what ISIS was trying to create as their state, you know, the ISIL, what they call ISIL. I forgot what it was. It was, they changed it from the Iraq and Syria deal or whatnot to basically the Levant area, where it will basically go from Syria on down, basically over to Israel, all the way through Syria and so forth. You know, basically, if you look up an old ass ISIS map of what they wanted to try to take over, that's basically the Levant that Israel's trying to get. So when you look at them trying to make these establishments over in the West Bank and so on and so forth, this all they're doing is expanding. All right, with the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights belong to Syria. All right. It says, he swallowed down riches, he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast him out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks, the honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore. He shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. He shall not rejoice therein, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away a house which he builded not. All right. So, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. So all the things that he labored for, he gonna have to restore. All right. Now, let me finish this off and I'll get back into that. It says, verse 21, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he's eating. And that's really talking about, you know, when Esau Edom as a whole is about to complete his New World Order system. All right. When he's about to get everything going, you know, that's when Esau, Edom as a whole is going to be cast out. All right. But going back up, you know, and Esau, Edom is going to have to restore all the things that he basically swallowed down. All right. Esau, Edom as a whole. But, you know, as far as, where was I at? Verse 18, that which he labored for shall he restore, and he shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. He shall not rejoice therein, because he has oppressed and forsaken the poor, and have violently taken away a house which he builded not. So he didn't establish that land over there. That wasn't his land to begin with. He stole that land. All right. And all the different things he stole, raped, robbed, and plundered, he's going to have to pay back up. That's what the restitution and the compensation going to be. But it's not going to be over to those Palestinian people over there. It's not going to be none of those people over there. The restitution is going to be to the Israelites, the rightful heirs and owners of this. All right. The Israelites are going to be, is going to inhabit, where am I looking for? What is it? Isaiah 60, I think, or 40. Yep, Isaiah 60 and verse 4. All right, now this is us getting that restitution. All right, so those Palestinians, like I said, this is not something pro-Palestinian, because they ain't getting no restitution. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be the Israelites. This is Isaiah 60 and 4. Lift up thy eyes round about and see, all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Thou shalt see and flow together. Thy heart shall fear and be enlarged. All right. Basically, you're going to be in shocked and stunned. It's like somebody coming up onto you. It's like, bruh, you on your last dollar, you broke, bummed out on the side of the road, homeless and shit. You know what I'm saying? And somebody didn't drop the lotto ticket out of their pocket, and you happen to pick it up and be sitting next to a TV and realize that you done picked up a winning lotto number for like a couple $100 billion. You know what I'm saying? Imagine going from homeless, losing every damn thing, to winning $100 billion on the lotto just because somebody dropped a ticket. You know, you be, one of those type of moments. All right. It says, thou shalt see and flow together. Thy heart shall fear and be enlarged because of the abundance. All right. Like that lotto ticket, the abundance of money you finna get, the abundance of the sea. Now the sea is talking about, the people. All right. Salakia. The sea shall be converted unto thee, and the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of the camels shall cover thee, the dormides of Midian and Ephah, and all they from Sheba shall come, and they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. All right. So let me go down to verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh thy power, the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have mercy on thee. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and their kings may be brought. For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. All right. Let me go down to verse 14. The sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at thy soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. So the sons of them that afflicted them shall come and start bending down to us and say that we are the Israelites. All right. Let me give you a quick precept and close out with that. It's Revelation 3 and 9. Well, I'll go to 2 and 9. I'll get 3 and 9 afterwards. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. All right. Yahweh shall saying, I know how broke you are. I know y'all fucked up on Section 8 and food stamps and whatever, whatnot, paycheck to paycheck. Y'all struggling, but y'all work so hard. But it says what? But thou art rich, not financially, but because we the children of Israel. All right. And we got basically a trust fund that can't no man really match. You see what I'm saying? We about to inherit the heaven. We about to be joint heirs with Yahweh and inherit the heavens and the earth and all there is therein. All right. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. All right. Those Amalekites, those Israelis over there, and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. All right. These are impostors. These are the synagogue of Satan. Now jumping over to Revelation 3 and 9, it says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. All right. Which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. All right. These Amalekites. All right. This ain't all the Esau, Edom ain't calling themselves Jews. All right. It's only the Amalekites, the people who claim to be Jewish. Right. It says, behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, to know and to know that I have loved thee. So he said that he was going to make the synagogue of Satan, all right, these damn Amalekites, these Jewish people, come bow down at our feet and worship us to know that he's loved us, all right? Going back to Isaiah 60 and 14, the sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. So, hey, them people over there be like, oh, we Israelis, we this and that. No, actually, y'all are the Israelites. Y'all are the children of the Most High. They're going to be coming bowing down unto us once they see, hey, man, once they see this destruction is coming and the Most High actually working, all right? They already know, but you know what I'm saying? When all this start happening, this is going to be their reaction, all right? So, you know, I wanted to just, oh, shit, let me read this too. Verse 16. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles. Thou shalt suck the breast of kings. Thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, thy Savior, the Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring thee gold. For iron I will bring thee silver. For wood, brass, for stone, iron. I will also make thy officers peace and thy exactors righteousness. Violence shall be no more heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt be called the walls of salvation, praise of, and the gates of and thy gates praise. So first and foremost, this ain't happening with those Israelis over there because they scared of Iran right now, right? They scared they're gonna blow them off the face of the earth. So they got violence going on over there. You got Palestinians and Israelis over there. That's why they got the Iron Dome system, all right? But when we get put over there, the Most High say this is gonna be the restitution. If we ask for brass, he gonna give us gold, all right? It's like you asking for $1. Hey, bro, I only need $1 to make this here. All right, well, here go $100,000 just to make sure you straight. Well, shit, I need 100,000. Well, here go 100 million. Well, shit, I need 100 million. Well, here go 100 billion. You see what I'm saying? That's what the Most High is saying for us. That's what the restitution gonna be. All right. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord, one this here was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Stay strong. Shalom.